Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigval here and welcome back to another video. So as we open up for this one, on the secondary account I just realized I've been done while commenting on the video of my main account. Because on the video on my main account I just went ahead and explained why Mr. Freeze is so good at hitting bosses that are stun or freeze immune. Because he got a good way to kind of circumvent that, and that 25% chance to bypass that is actually far better than it seems to be. But turns out, yeah, Red Hood is not stun or freeze immune in the first place, so I'll need to most likely pin a comment on that one. Hopefully I do remember to do so, but yeah. But back to this video, we have Harley plus Raven. And this is going to be somewhat of a messy fight on purpose. Because with the League of Anarchy team, even on my secondary account where I don't even have Beta Club, I don't have anything very powerful. This team can get unusual gameplay if we finish the fight too fast. So we're going to a little bit on purpose suck here to not end too soon. There has to be at least under 1 minute left of the fight for me to have more of a psychological guarantee that we're not gonna get smashed here. So that's why I'm actually combo interrupting there in terms of instead of stunning. You can combo interrupt him after 2 hits, but it's not gonna be the most reliable thing in the world. Third special in there, just squeezing that in there. Actually underwhelming results. I was expecting the third special to do a little bit more, considering the Raven 5 darkness buffs. Raven back in there. Special 1. Harley back in there. Special 2. And I'm gonna go for third special ulti stuns. And yeah, that did even more underwhelming damage. Some of you suggested when I was going for Harley a third special only, no EPI theme kind of thing. Why don't you do it? Well, the target's stunned because it sucks ass. The dot damage on basic attack hits is strong against stun targets because the buff against stun targets applies twice, once for the normal damage and once for the dot, which depends on the normal damage. Other than that, her passive is not that great, it just synergizes very well with what she does. But yeah, kind of garbage rewards. I mean, most of you wouldn't have been too unhappy with some reverse flash, but I have maxed out shards. And I got a very good question on the last video. Sigval, do you have any gold characters that you actually one drops from soul rates for? That's a little bit of a good question. The thing is, currently I do need gold shards for Batman the Drowned, Classic Wonder Woman, Vixen and Ash, but I'm not sure they even drop from soul rates, because they are too lazy to go back and add the newly added characters to the poll. You can see that with the legendary character poll that you have on the let's say tier 5 of soul rates, because you can click on the chest and you see the chances. There's gonna be a 0.02% chance to get any of the legendaries in the game at the very least, as far as they were at the time of that soul raid release. Excluding the ones that you can draw from other soul raids, and they don't seem to be too keen on adding the new ones, so I don't think they will add the newer gold character drops on soul raid, and that's kind of sucks. They kind of did the same with the league rates in terms of gears, because we have drops in league rates of gears of certain characters all the way up to, as far as I'm aware, Black Manta release, including legendary characters, though they are very rare. But at the same time, I think they will include more when they release next tier of league rates, because they did include more of them when they released the tier 7 and tier 8, the tier 9 and tier 10 release of soul rates. Boy, is that ever coming, by the way, because people have been waiting on that for ages. But yeah, here a little bit of a Swamp Thing fight. The first clone didn't have the best of times, but hopefully the second clone will have a better time here. I think I did a similar mistake to my main account where I gave too little passive stats to the clones, but nah, actually they're gonna be far more fine than they're on the main account. But again, on main account they're getting smacked by a heroic 7 Swamp Thing, so this one is far more tame. Got him in the corner, just keep combo interrupting him there. Combo interrupt again. Into our third special. Combo interrupt again. Actually no, continuing the combo after the third special. I think over here I went overboard, I just didn't count them. I think this one is in addition. Yep, no percentage shell damage on that one. And I messed up there, I should have tagged him from a block with Conflant Sakoman. It's okay, we're not missing too much damage. He was not gonna do that much damage anyway. Yeah, we actually give 0 passive stats to the clone here because I have power box on Dr. Fate and Nora's Snow Globe on King. Dr. Fate back in there, doing the infinite combo. King back in there. And our third special. Right now we're going to combo and chop our way to a super move, maybe? Combo and chopped again. 31 hits, 1.1 mil. It's fine. Every single bit of damage matters because it might make the difference for the next team that makes an attempt here. And yeah, not too bad. Again, we could have gotten a far better outcome out of the clones. We're going to have the reverse flash server Banshee team. We're going to try and push him to the corner as usual. You do no damage with the special 1 and special 2 in this fight, and we're going to use special 1 in this fight quite a lot, but it does not matter that much. We're gonna miss a little bit of damage in that regard, but it's not gonna be too big of a deal. There's like 2 types of bosses. This is kind of the more forgiving boss that makes you deal no damage with certain specials, because you can still use those specials for utility purposes, as I'm using now special 1 as a revenge to disable his specials, and as you're using the special 2 with League of Anarchy to stun him, for example. But when there's fights that straight up disable your special, that's the most punishing thing, because you can't even use that for utility purposes, and you have to try to circumvent that. Like, for example, how we're using Tangling Poison Ivy for the stuns against Boss Enchantress. Super move there on reverse flash, you tank that like a champ, absolutely no trouble. By the way, on this account, I should mention at this point we have level 4 God Killer and level 2 God Killer for the passive stats, if anybody's wondering. And 3rd level Dark Metal cards will be on pretty much all damage dealers, except for when I use Nora's Snow Globe on King. Another special 1 there with Server Banshee. Come on, chopped again. And yeah, if you come to think about it, I was wondering what to title and thumbnail this video. It's kind of interesting that every single damage there on my secondary account, like on the main we do have Beta Club, we do have Joker as Battering, so there's gonna be a little bit of variation because there's some teams that synergize well with those artifacts and not gonna use Dark Metal cards. But on the secondary account, literally on every single damage dealer that I have and that I'm using Dark Metal cards, and I am using a 500% crit damage build. And even for Kim Flan Sakumen that sometimes uses Nora's Snow Globe, I still have the 500% crit damage on him for the situations where he uses Dark Metal cards. So yeah, Dark Metal cards has been one of the best addition in Ninjas 2 Mobile since the release of artifacts, and I'm so glad it's here. There's special in there. 7.5, not too bad. And come to think of it, that even Server Banshee does far better with Dark Metal cards than with All Blades, and she synergizes the best. Her and the Multiverse team synergize the best with All Blades because their optimal gameplays to anyway tag in and out a lot. And the Dark Metal card is going to do far better the more base attack you have, because it's going to increase the damage that you would already be doing. Well, All Blades adds a flat amount on top. So All Blades can work with far less resources, but I mean we have a level 4 and level 2 God here, we're naturally high on passive stats. You should still use All Blades on most teams if you don't have absolutely any passive stats for that story specifically, but Dark Metal cards will do the job for you most of the times. 90 mil, not too terrible. We're going to have a little bit of another something fight here. This is going to be sped up because it's going to be a bit of a ninja fight. Not a lot of variation in this fight. It's just going to be combo interrupting him, pushing him to the corner, and using the 3rd special. Here we don't even have the variation of using the 2nd special. I guess actually thinking about it, I should have done it, because you don't do the 2nd special for healing or for the damage, you do it so that it constantly stacks lethal attack damage. And that's for Zamo, where since he takes no damage from the special 2, in theory he will take values of 1 damage. Now those values of 1 damage can crit and can lethal, surprisingly enough. And since we have Dark Metal cards putting us at 500% crit damage, I think the dot values would reach from 1, I think, to 7, 8, maybe 10 per second. And that's still not the thing, it's still dumpster fire damage. It's more like if it can crit and lethal, it means it can still stack the passive. So might have been a mistake not actually using the special 2 here. So yeah, actually didn't think about that one. But yeah, we got him back to the corner. This was not the best fight because we took a long time to reset from when he used his own super move, so that kind of sucked. I'm still thinking if I should wait on the Batman Ninja Team super move and try to match the enemy super move to just get reset to the middle of the field just one time, but every time I might think about it, I think it's unoptimal, because the super move gives you so much more, you can access it so much faster than him, and he's gonna have a slower time accessing it because you're constantly reducing his power generation with it. So I think we're going to stick with this gameplay. Alright, 62, definitely decent, Now we're going to fight Boss Harley here. Thankfully, she does not carry on the passives of the usual Harley. She does not reflect stuns. I was kind of scared the last few times I fought her, but in time I have come to understand that this is a far toned down version of Harley, and we do not need to worry about that. We're going to use the usual Raven's Harley Quinn theme. I'm using this here just for convenience purposes, mainly because she can be a little bit annoying. It's a Harley character, can be nasty to combo and chop, can do swipe downs. Special 2 in there. A few hits in there. Oh damn, already 1/5 of her health gone. Our special 1 there, 4 stacks. Getting back in there. And I get hit with a swipe down there. Special 1. There we go, 5 darkness stacks. 2 hits, combo and chopped. Again, I'm not gonna rush into it, because if I rush into it and one-shot her in a few seconds, and the game is gonna be like, nah, Sigval, you're hacking unusual gameplay. I'm like, bro, I don't even have very strong artifacts on this guy, what do you mean? And yes, here we're going to actually transition into EPI damage dealer. Yeah, you have absolutely no reason to do this, by the way, because you have Harley in this team, but the Harley's passive works as well with the EPI while the enemy is stunned, so you can get some pretty decent values. But again, you can't make this work unless you have, let's say, Harley on the team. And I guess it might be a scenario where you could do this. Oh, actually. Yeah. For example, if you do have Harley unlocked, but do not have gears for Harley and have EPI unlocked, and you do have gears for EPI, then you could just put Harley in there as a support character and use EPI as a damage dealer. By the way, lost darkness here, fat rip. I might make a video on this one, though I'm not sure how many people are in this situation, but EPI at least has a challenge, and the challenge comes around from time to time, so we might be in that scenario. But yeah, if you're watching this and you do have gears on EPI, and also have like less of the Joker with gears, try EPI damage there with Harley support if you have Harley. Might actually do more than Joker. But yeah, moving on to the next fight, we're going to have over here what is a fight I'm most proud of. It's going to be peak performance. Absolute peak performance Justice League gameplay here. We don't have Aquaman because I don't think there's any armor to reduce here. We have Solar Bane to increase our damage on basic attack hits. We have 3rd level Dark Metal Cross on Justice League Flash, again 500% crit damage build. And we're going to have the Justice League Cyborg in there for the additional damage on basic attack hits. And yet again, passive stats already mentioned, level 4 God Killer, level 2 God Killer. I'm going to tag Bane in here to tank the super move. That was some decent damage on the super move actually. Gonna try and push into the corner. Until I push into the corner, I really like to cycle between Flash and Cyborg, because Cyborg has a far better time pushing to the corner than Flash has, because he has a little bit of longer reach and longer push on some of his basic attack hits. I'm gonna actually push him all the way, because if I push him all the way, I'm going to get the Dark Metal Cards area right on top of him. If I was to tag in Flash mid combo, then I would have had to wait until that area got back in the corner. And yeah, we're fighting metahuman versus metahuman, so there's not any class advantages or disadvantages. The damage on basic attack hits, it's slightly lower than usual, and I'm not 100% sure why. Might be some defense on this dude, or might be the Scarecrow passive. Like, Scarecrow's got the passive that reduces some of your attack, and they might have kept that in here. But yeah, usually the usual for Justice League team is like 100k per single value on swipe, so this is a little bit lower. Not lower by a lot, maybe I'm thinking of class advantage fights, and it's my bad in that regard, but yeah, just peak performance Justice League team gameplay. Keep comboing chop him, keep keeping him in the corner, keep using 3rd special when you have it available, because since it's guaranteed crit is definitely worth using. Like, yet again, another thing that takes so great advantage of the Dark Metal cards. So much more damage on basic attack hits and actually makes the third special viable, because before Dark Metal cards I was just not doing the third special, because if it was to like hit two non-crit values, like it would hit me with like double 200k damage, and I'm like, bro, in that time that animation went on, I could have dealt more damage with my basic attack hits. So yeah, another third special in there. Combo chopped again. Combo chopped again. Into another third special. Combo chopped again. Combo chopped again. And combo chopped again. Oh boy, who would have guessed that last combo option? Am I right, guys? But yeah, a Just League fight that actually have not failed combo interruption at all in the one. This is a very, very rare occurrence, my dudes. This is an extremely rare occurrence. 81 mil damage. Yeah, I guess that's as far as they go. Now for Collector fight, this might as well be peak performance Collector. I'm not 100% sure if it is, but might get close to it. Trying to push his ass to the corner. Boy, I like Boss Scarecrow so much. Because he doesn't do anything, he's just chill over there. He doesn't use any anything that might hinder our gameplay. He's combo interruptible, he's easily combo interruptible. There's nothing more you could ask for from a boss. And thing to note is that he's meta-human, so my collector damage would be a little bit reduced compared to normal fights. But still, we're going to do a decent number on him. Special in there to power steal. I do like to cycle collector in there a few times while tagging Brainiac in to give Brainiac that much needed power. Because Brainiac is really not power generating a lot. He's got just a small time frame when he does the 3 hits between special ones where he power generates, and while he's in the special 1 animation he just doesn't. Collector back in there, special 1. Brainiac back in there, special 1. 9 darkness stacks, 10 darkness stacks. And we did it at a decent pace considering we had to tag in for power generation. Collector back in there. I'm gonna keep combo interrupting him at this point. I want to do super move, and I do have enough energy for super move. I also have 40 hit combo, but I want him to have more energy so he can steal more. So I can go double super move. So super move with Collector, and then super move with Red Hood. There we go. Push him back to the corner. Bringing back in there to help out with that. Yeah, that special, yeah, that was a little bit of a mistake. At that point, I don't know why, but I had the feeling that I was at 9 stacks, not at 10, and I needed to tag in one more time, and that was definitely a mistake on my part, but will not be a big one. There's special in there. The Dark Metal cards area has come around to help us out a little bit here. Come on, chopped again. Third special. Come on, chopped again. Combo chopped again. Trying to build a little bit of a combo. Again, the general rule for most characters that have this gameplay wheel, where they just do hits and off in a special. Do as much combo as you can, but don't go over 40 hits and don't sit on a full power bar. As long as you don't do any of these, just do as much combo as you can. That's all you need to know about this type of gameplay. We got kind of unlucky with keeping the combo, like here we kept it, but after this one we're just not gonna keep combo after the third special. That's one of Collector's passive and kind of one of the few things that recommends him towards being a damage dealer. Also the passive that gives him damage for the amount of damage that your other characters take, but I don't feel like that's very impactful though. There's special in there. Combo chopped again. 69 hits, the perfect amount. We have entered the Red Hood area where there's very little power generation, sadly. Yeah, regardless of that, we're going to do our third special. Again, getting as much combo as possible in there. Sadly, you didn't keep the combo, but yeah, thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike the video, and with all that being said, I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Goodbye!
This is the future.